Member, member service agreements. Take it away, Michael.
Okay, I think I gotta share, right? Okay, everybody seeing the presentation here?
Yep. Loud and clear.
Okay, so this will be a pretty quick one. Just going to talk about the member service agreement and what the requirements are. All AmeriCorps state and national subgrantees, that's your agencies, just as a little note on terminology, the commission is a pass-through agency, so the grants which are made by the federal agency are granted to the commission, so we become the grantee, and then we subgrant them to your agency. So whenever you see subgrantees, just know that that's AmeriCorps programs. That's you guys. But a requirement is that every AmeriCorps member sign a member service agreement. They should ensure that the MSA is signed on or before the start of service. However, it's important to note that the effective start date for your members is going to be what is in the AmeriCorps portal, not what's on the member service agreement. If there's any discrepancy, then the portal takes preference. However, those dates, should theoretically match. And these are the minimum requirements for a member service agreement. There should be a member position description, the minimum number of service hours necessary to successfully complete the term, the Siegel Education Award amount offered, standards of conduct, prohibited activities, which we'll discuss, unallowable activities, which relate to non-duplication and non-displacement, is slightly different than prohibited activities, although you can't do either one, so I guess it's all just prohibited. But non-duplication, non-displacement basically just means that your AmeriCorps members can't duplicate efforts that are already being performed by employees at your agency, and they can't displace employees. You can't, neglect or choose to not hire someone because you're going to bring on an AmeriCorps member. They can't displace employees. And then the regulation is linked there if you want to get more detail on that. You need to have the provisions related to fundraising, Drug-Free Workplace Act requirements, civil rights requirements, rules related to suspension and termination, circumstances under which a member may be released for cause, grievance procedures which are required for your agencies, and other relevant requirements established by your organization. So, AmeriCorps sets kind of a minimum, but with most things in your programs, you have some discretion to sort of curate it based on the requirements at your agency. So maybe things like leave, the process for taking leave and how that will work. Those are things that will be more specific to your agency. These are the requirements of the member position description. Again, that's a requirement of the member service agreement. So you want to confirm that member duties are not prohibited. Confirm that the position description follows the requirements related to supplementation, duplication, displacement, like I mentioned earlier. You should identify the member's specific title of service that accurately describes the purpose and scope of the position. So it shouldn't just say AmeriCorps member. It should kind of have a bit more detail about what their service is providing. And then you want to identify the AmeriCorps program name and the service site of the member. And yes, also the member needs to agree to complete the national service criminal history checks. And that should be part of the agreement. I have the Siegel Education Award amounts here again. We've already gone over that though. And the good news is, like I've mentioned, we offer a template. So if you were to go to the program management resources page on the Commission's website, which is newyorkersvolunteer.ny.gov. You click on training and then program management resources. And as you can see in the screenshot, there's a tile with the program year 2024 member service agreement. So you can just basically download that and use that for your 2024 programs, but you're going to want to adapt it based on your agency's needs and your policies and procedures. And you'll see when you look in the template, it'll say things like insert here your agency's policy related to, X, whatever the topic is. So that's a pretty quick one. Any questions related to the member service agreements?
And the link to the program management resources on the commission website is in the chat.
Thanks, Eric.
definitely.
Yeah, so that was pretty straightforward. If you have questions, if you haven't looked at the template, or if you're not really familiar with the member service agreement, and after you do download it, you have questions, just reach out to your program administrator or anyone at the commission.
All right. Does anyone have any questions about member service agreements? Once, going twice.